Hello everyone. I'm speaking once again from the channel titled Debate and Discussion Forum. We're happy to start with another new topic this hour. Though we already mentioned in our introduction that this channel will solely be based on parenting children born in abroad. But we would like to look at 9 important steps to more successful parenting. Before we look in detail the theme of this channel. This is so because effecting these 9 steps is vital, it's a necessity in bringing up your child wherever you are in the world. We'll be looking at these 9 steps so that we will know the basics of what we need to do before we finally go back or start the theme of this channel in a detailed way. We would like to take the first steps, boosting your child's self-esteem. This is very important because we have different stages in parenting our child or children. Once a child is born, it moves from child's birth to an infant stage. From an infant, we're looking at toddler to teenager, and from teenager to an adolescent stage. So each of these stages require major responsibility from the parents for you to be able to bring that child up in a responsible way. But we would like to, based on our topics, subheadings right in front of us, we like to treat this first step under 2 subheadings. Number 1, parents are mirrors to their child or children. And underneath that, we'll be looking at sense of self. And what that means, we'll be explaining shortly. And number 2, we also like to look at parents' do's and don'ts to their child or children. What are we trying to achieve here? We are trying to achieve bringing up an obedient child or children at the end of the day. The steps might sound a bit clumsy or difficult, but as parents, we must and cannot avoid it if we really want to be proud of that child tomorrow. Kids start developing their sense of self when they see themselves through their parents' eyes. Yeah, that English might sound a bit difficult to understand, or it might not give a straight meaning, but it has a very detailed meaning. And from our subheadings that is in front of us, what that is or what that means to every parent is that we are mirrors to our child or to our children for them to see. It is what they see that they absorb. It is what they observe, see, and experience from and through our hearts is what forms and shapes them. So it is very important that we know that we as parents are mirrors to our children. What does that mean? When parents stand as a mirror for their child or children, it could ever turn out to be positive or negative, depending on the part that that parent takes or applies. But I know that every parent or every home or family will want their child grow up to be the one they can be proud of. They can be happy to present to anyone in any situation as their own child. When we say parents are a mirror, what does that mean? It means a lot. Remember, children are very observant. Children are very, very watchful. And anything that comes to them, they can easily absorb. What do we use mirror for? Mirror is used to see. Mirror is used to see and know the true reflection of how we look like. So, when a child or kids start developing sense of self, what they absorb or what they see and absorb is very important. They could absorb what will turn out to be positive reflection in them, or they could absorb something that could turn out to be negative at the end of the day. And I believe no parents or no home or family wants to steer their child, doing otherwise or come up opposite to what they expect that child to be. Everyone wants to be proud and be happy with their child or children. So how does this play up? Perception of oneself and an awareness of who we truly are will develop in kids either positively or negatively as they absorb the following from what is in front of them. So whatever you do, whatever you show or teach your child is what that child will absorb. It's what that child will see and do. So it is very important that whatever you do is what your children will see and absorb. For example, it is very easy for some parents to use a very threatening tone of voice, unfriendly and unwelcoming when dealing with their children. It is possible also to use a negative body language, unwelcoming body language. It is also possible for parents to use hatred and dislike when dealing with their children. And all these the children see and absorb. And begin to wonder sometimes if they are truly valued, special, or loved by their parents. So it is very important that we should be very, very careful with our ways and our action when parenting, wherever you live or dwell. So simply put, parents are mirror to their children. What they hear and see shape and form their sense of self. If according to what we have in front of us, we have seen that we as parents are mirrors to our children. So we must be very careful with what we do, what we say, in our acts and deed before them. Because as soon as they start developing the sense of self in them, they absorb, they take in what you present to them. Number two, we look at what parents must do and must not do to their child or children. What you must do includes praising accomplishment, however small, will make them feel proud. Do not always look for mistakes or what your child have not done well. Look for more of what he has done well. Look for more of what you can praise him for, in order for him to build up confidence in himself and be proud of. Number two, letting kids do things independently will make them feel capable and strong. It is important that you sometimes turn away your eyes to allow your child do things independently without your guide and instruction. And this will build in him confidence and make him capable and strong, even in the future. There are some things that you must not do as parents. Belittling comments. Comparing a child weakness with another child's strength will make your child feel worthless. Number two, avoid making loaded statements or using words as a weapon. For example, what a stupid thing to do. You act more like a baby than your little brother. What are you doing, or what do you think you are doing? Causing damage just as physical blows do. Choose your words carefully and be compassionate. Let your kid know that everyone make mistakes and that you still love them, even when you don't love their character. So be very careful with your words, with your act before them. So please take note of the do's and don'ts when raising up your child. So it is very important that we do this. We would like to bring this topic to an end at this junction. But please, before we do that, we want to summarize the areas, the points we have discussed during this section. We made mention of parents are mirrors to their child or children. So whatever you do, the way you relate with your child or children, the tones, the body language, every of your expression goes a long way to either impact negatively or positively. What are you showing them? What are they seeing you as a mirror before them? You need to ask yourself some questions. Is your tone welcoming? Tone of voice welcoming? Is your body language a compassionate or a welcoming one? Or unwelcoming? Is your expression friendly? Or is the one that shows dislike? You need to ask yourself questions. Remember, you are a mirror. What they see is what they absorb, especially from the age of infant. Please take note. What they hear and see shape and form their sense of self. And number two, we made mention of the do's and don'ts. What you must and must not do. It is very, very important that you take that into consideration. Look for things to praise your child for. Spend more of your time, focus on what is done correctly, what is done well by your child, than what is done wrongly or wrong. So that they can feel proud and build confidence in themselves. Give room for your child to do things independently. This will build confidence and make him feel capable and strong. And what you must not do, do not belittle or compare your child weaknesses with another child strength that will make that child feel worthless. You will be killing that child. You will be bringing that child down the drain when you do that. Avoid making loaded statements or words as a weapon in bringing up your child. It can only turn out to be negative in that child. And to summarize and bring this topic to an end, we'd like to say to everyone that will view and visit this channel, we want to hear your contribution. Whether you agree to our points or not, what you think, your suggestions. And as we do this, we'll be able to sum up the majority of ideas and put that up for others to take correction and adjustment from, and bring correction to an error made or that is going to be made. Thank you for listening. But before we go, remember to subscribe, share, like and comment. And also do not forget, most especially, to turn on your notification bell to watch more of these videos. Thanks for watching and God bless.